What's up, everyone? Tera Roberts here with Fantasy Alarm, and we are talking free agency deep cuts for Week 9. The quarterback position is very scarce right now with this huge bye week. There aren't a ton of fantastic deep options as guys like Justin Fields and Marcus Mariota are getting snatched up very quickly. But Taylor Heinicke can be a deep league fill-in for a quarterback needy team. The upside with Heinicke is that he can get it done through the air and on the ground. Last week, Heinicke had 23 completions for nearly 300 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception, and added a touchdown on the ground as well. Minnesota isn't a cakewalk matchup, but if the Vikings jump ahead quickly and the Commanders have to chase points, we could see a solid game from Heinicke. At running back, we are going the injury replacement route this week. Deon Jackson is a fine fill-in if Jonathan Taylor is out. Taylor aggravated his ankle injury and his status is unclear. If Taylor is out and Nyheim Hines is obviously gone, Jackson steps into a significant workload. Unfortunately, the matchup is ugly against the Patriots, but this is deep cuts. Beggars can't be choosers. We will snatch up any RB1, even if it's a difficult matchup. One more option that you can monitor is Caleb Huntley. Cordell Patterson could return this week. Patterson was designated to return from IR on Wednesday, but that does not guarantee that he will actually play this week. The Falcons have a wonderful matchup against the LA Chargers. Huntley had 16 carries for 91 yards last week. His value is capped because he splits work with Tyler Algier, who operates as the lead back, and Huntley has yet to catch a pass this season. But if Patterson is out, he is an extremely low-rostered option in a good matchup. At wide receiver, Rashad Bateman is out. Mark Andrews is banged up and possibly questionable, and Lamar Jackson has to throw to somebody. Devin Duvernay is likely the preferred option for Lamar Jackson, but he's too high rostered. A solid deep alternative is Demarcus Robinson. Robinson had 6 receptions on 8 targets for 64 yards last week and could see a continued uptick in volume. New Orleans defense pulled itself together last week and shut out Las Vegas, but they have been on the shakier side this season in a friendlier matchup for wide receivers. Another option is DeAndre Carter. Mike Williams is out and Keenan Allen re-aggravated his hamstring injury during the bye week. How do you re-aggravate an injury on your week off? Not really sure, but it happened. Either way, if both Williams and Allen are out, Carter could have an interesting role against an Atlanta defense that has allowed the second most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. And a very deep option, and I am talking very deep, is Terrace Marshall. The Panthers play Cincinnati, which is typically a tough matchup, but they've suffered significant injuries on defense and are vulnerable. After being virtually non-existent, Terrace Marshall's snap count jumped up to 80% in Week 7 and over 90% in Week 8, with 4 receptions on 9 targets for 87 yards. Without Christian McCaffrey, more targets are available in the receiving core, and Marshall is taking advantage of it. At tight end, I will keep it short with Isaiah Likely. It's very simple. If Mark Andrews is out, Likely steps in, and while he's not a one-for-one replacement, he is an excellent option. Likely caught 6 of 7 targets for 77 yards and a touchdown last week on just a 67% snap count after Mark Andrews went down. And if he's the starting tight end, you would have to imagine that that would rise to over 90% based off of Baltimore's usage at the position. The only downside here is that Baltimore plays on Monday night, so we need to have some level of confidence on Sunday to feel comfortable starting him. That said, that means I need to give you a second option because of the Monday caveat and because by the time you see this video, it's possible that Isaiah Likely will be too high rostered to qualify as a deep add because I'm sure his percentage would jump dramatically with any negative news around Mark Andrews. So, the second option at tight end is Tyler Conklin. Conklin has been extremely unusable since Zach Wilson returned to action. But it's possible we could see the revival of Conklin if the Jets make an offensive shift to push more pass volume with Breece Hall lost for the year. Wilson had 41 pass attempts last week, his highest of the season, with over 350 yards and 2 touchdowns, both of which went to Conklin. Week 9 is a tough matchup against Buffalo, but if the Jets chase points, Conklin could have upside. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to Fantasy Alarm, and come back next week for another round of deep waiver ads.